God. And not only me, but also others. We had a group, we had a club of altar boys. I don't know whether you have that in the parishes, eh? A club for altar boys. We had a club for altar boys. And it is from there that we were called. Some went to, some today are lawyers, others are doctors. But what's important, we were together when we were young, when we were boys. At times we meet and we congratulate you. And we start to remember the old days. You know, tunasema, wakati tunakutana, tunasema, wazee hukumbuka. Hukumbuka wakati huo, tulikuwa watumishi wa misa. Na kwa hivyo hata ninyi, when you are adults, mtakuwa wazee hukumbuka. Wakati mlikuwa Beacon Boys. So this has reminded me of that. That's where we started. And each one of us has a gift from God. Just as we have heard from our second reading, where Paul was speaking to this young man, Timothy. He was instructing him, go and do what, proclaim the good news. Don't belittle yourself. Yes, you are young, but you are full of knowledge. Paul was instructing the young Timothy. And then the gospel, I've heard Jesus was instructing people. He was teaching, and then it was late. And then people had no food. And he asked the apostles, he told the apostles, why don't you give this food? Na wakamwambia, sasa mikate ya kutosha, hata ukinunua mikate 200 itatosha. Na so Jesus asked, but what do you have? Muna nini? There was nothing. But there was a boy. I think he was also a Beacon boy. There was a boy who was given 2 breads, maybe and a soda, by his mother to go and attend the crowd. And then the boy said, no, we have nothing. But there's a boy here who had 2 loaves of bread. I'm sure there are others who had bread. But only that boy who decided to give. So then Jesus said, bring the 2 bread. And then the boy did not mind that he will go hungry. He gave the 2 loaves of bread. And that giving was very important because Jesus multiplied the 2 breads. And then people were fed and they were satisfied. That giving out is what is important. You remember in the gospel, there was this young man, a young man, I don't know how old he was, who went to Jesus and told him, good teacher, what must I do in order to be happy? What must I do so that my life may have a meaning? What must I do so that my life may have a value? In other words, what must I do for eternal life, to have eternal life? And Jesus told him what? He told, now, young man, you are young. Go and follow the commandments. The way to be happy, the way to have a value, the way to have eternal life is to observe, to follow the commandments of God. And this young man, I think he was a Beacon boy, he laughed at Jesus. And he told him, no, from my youth, I've been observing those commandments, and yet I am not happy. But Jesus loved him, lakini akamwambia, kama ni hivyo, there's another step. Kuna hatua ingine unaweza chukua. Fanya hivi. Go and sell whatever you have. Give it to the poor, then come and follow me and you'll be happy. You know, it was like this, it was cold like this. Ulikuwa kama hewa ilikuwa cold kama hii. Lakini huyu kijana alikuwa akianza kutokwa na jasho. Wakati ambiwa that go and sell what you have, he started sweating. And then even the color of his face changed, became brown, red. Na ukiona mzungu amekuwa red and sweating. It's very serious. So, and this young man decided to do what? To go. He decided to be excluded from eternal life. He decided not to be happy. He decided not to be happy and keep his wealth. And the same thing is happening today. Jesus telling you now, go, give me what you have, and you'll be happy. By the way, what do you have now? Even the shoe that you have put on was bought by your parents. You have nothing. So you might tell Jesus, I have nothing. But the fact that you're a beacon boy, that the future depends on you, is wealth. Youthfulness, ujana ni utajiri. Ujana ni utajiri. Na kwa hivyo, Yesu anakuambia, nipatie huo ujana wako. Ujana wako. Na maisha yako itakuwa na maana. Come to me. So don't be afraid going to Jesus. Don't be cheated that you have something to lose by following Jesus. It's the other way around. You'll be a very important person because Jesus will direct you. And not only a world person, but rather you find happiness, that you enjoy life. You will enjoy life. This time I was working among the young people, YCS, young Christian students. And they always wanted to be happy to enjoy life. So they were using the word joy. Can you spell the word joy? J-O-Y, joy. J stands for? Jesus. You know J stands for Jesus. O stands for? It stands for others. And the Y stands for? You. For you. So, you start with Jesus, you go to others, and then at last come to who? Then you have joy. Okay, we do this, eh? Start with Jesus, up, fanya hivi. Jesus. Jesus. Others. You. Then you have joy. So you start by having Jesus in you. Then you give out to others. Then at last you come to you. This is what the boy did who gave the 2 loaves. He started to listen to Jesus in the crowd. He got the message of Jesus. Then he went to others, he gave out the bread. And then at last he came to himself and he had joy. As long as we start with the self, then happiness and joy will be very far from us. Each one of us, when God created us, first of all, God created the world to believe it in by people. The world, whatever is there, makes a lot of sense and meaning and value because people are living there, because of human being. Without human being, even mashamba tunayo, manduka tunayo, it has no value because it requires human being to be there. They have value, these cars we have, they have value because we are using it, ni kweli. Kama hatutuko hapa hatutui hizi basi, ni za nini? There's no value. The same thing. Human being has a value because God is there. Because God is there, we have value. Without God, there's nothing that can be good. Just as much without human being, those buses will be useless. So without God, kama hakuna Mungu, basi hakuna chochote kinaweza kuwa chema. Nothing has value, nothing can be good. So this boy who wanted happiness, just to know, you go, so if you come and you are going to have a value. Kwa hivyo basi, Beacon Boys, if you want to be happy, you start with who? You start with who? With Jesus. And then you help others. Then you come back to yourself. And then you'll be happy, you have joy, you prepare yourself for the future. Mungu ni mwema kila wakati.
Naomba sasa tuweze kukimya.